If you see only one madly ambitious, wildly allegorical movie this year about a fabled architect whose dream is to design buildings that define the future, make that movie The Brutalist. I'm saying, in other words, that you should choose The Brutalist, the third feature directed by Brady Corbet, over Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, an architect saga that's diverting for about an hour, until it descends into a folly that's anything but grand. Why did Coppola, the great retro-classicist of the new Hollywood, ever convince himself that he was an avant-garde visionary? Megalopolis is a movie that crashes into glittering fragments. But with The Brutalist, Brady Corbet goes in the opposite direction. His first two films, The Fascist Parable, The Childhood of a Leader, 2015, and The Pop Star Parable, Vox Lux, 2018, had flashes of brilliance amid a sea of indulgence. But The Brutalist comes close to being a work of retro-classicism. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes long, it's paced with a pleasing stateliness and overflows with incident and emotion, and it spins out the story of Laszlo Toth, Adrian Brody, a Hungarian-born Jewish architect who journeys from Budapest to America after World War II, as if Corbet were making a biopic about a real person. If the protagonist's name sounds familiar, that's because Laszlo Toth was the Hungarian-born Australian geologist who took a hammer to Michelangelo's Pieta in 1972. That Corbet would name his hero after this nutcase sounds like an inside joke, but to the extent that the reference has resonance, it's meant more seriously. It's the film's way of suggesting that a powerful creator is always, in certain ways, a destroyer. I may be alone in not having been crazy about Adrian Brody's Oscar-winning performance in The Pianist. To me, he gawked through that role, and the movie itself mostly sat there. But in The Brutalist, Brody plays another wayward Holocaust survivor. Laszlo arrives on a boat, passing through Ellis Island, and his performance, even at its quietest, is suffused with tumultuous feeling. Speaking in a thick accent, Brody, at first, makes Laszlo dour and tentative and seemingly rather harmless, a desperate refugee just keeping his head down and trying to carry on. From the start, though, there's nothing quaint about the filmmaking. Corbet gives us a riveting side-angle shot of the Statue of Liberty as Laszlo emerges from the ship's dank and teeming interior. This is followed by a sex scene that's jarring, not because Laszlo hires a prostitute, but because Corbet films their encounter with a touch of hardcore explicitness. "Your face is ugly," she says. "I know it is," says Laszlo. Their encounter hints at the life force that's buried in him, and so does something else, in a perverse way. Laszlo suffered a broken nose, and during the passage to America took heroin to quell the pain. He still shoots it up and, as it turns out, he'll be a secret, functional, junkie for the rest of the movie. This speaks to something in him that's both self-centered and self-destructive. He has come to Pennsylvania to find his footing by staying with his cousin, Attila, Alessandro Nivola, a snake oil smoothie who has his own custom furniture shop. He puts Laszlo up in a spare room in the back of the store, and for a while Laszlo forms a homespun unit with Attila and his waspy wife, Audrey, Emma Laird, who turns out to be the film's first signifier of treachery. Before long, they get a furniture commission. Harry Lee, Joe Alwyn, the rich kid's son of a local tycoon, wants to take the dowdy old reading room used by his father and renovate it into a state-of-the-art library. It will be a surprise gift. Laszlo is just the man to do it. At this point, we're still vague on his background, filling in details gradually as a Corbet touch, but the library Laszlo designs, with shelves hidden by diagonally unfolding slats, a gleaming skylight, and a lounging chair in the middle that looks modern enough to have been designed by Mies van der Rohe, adds up to a stunning vision of architectural beauty. When Harry's father, Harrison Lee Van Buren, Guy Pearce, arrives at the estate and sees what's been done to his beloved reading room, he erupts in fury. Laszlo and Attila are thrown out of the house and don't even get their full payment. But it turns out that Van Buren just likes to control everything, and was in a state because his mother was dying. The new library is a landmark of design, it gets a spread in Look magazine, and Van Buren soon requests a meeting with Laszlo. He wants to pay him, and more than that he wants to partner with him. To build a building. To design the future.